Go.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Das Rentian, and we're here on an episode
20.
of Pandemicraft Season 2.
Indeed.
Today, we're still playing with Botania. That's why I'm still here.
Indeed. So, at the end of last episode, we had gotten this set up. This is take. I said that we were going to go in between episodes and fill these mana pools, and I'm having to stand here too much. The pool is maybe a third of the way full, and throwing the coal onto these is too annoying. So me and Wrenchin have been brainstorming a little bit on how to make this do this without us having to worry about it. So we're going to start this episode with us doing that. By the way, I went ahead and moved the runic altar off to the side over here because we're going to use this location for what we're going to build later this episode. But we're going to have the automation of getting these things to function first. Then we're going to have a nice long break while it takes probably several hours to fill these mana pools. And then we'll come back when they are full and we will do the next section. So, Renshin, you want to explain exactly how we decided to automate this system?
I can, while you start building it, maybe.
Yes, indeed.
So, the basic thing we built this around is the open crate from, who guessed it, Botania, which is
No.
basically. which is basically an item that will drop anything that is pumped into it. So if you have an item duct or conduit or whatever hooked up to it, pumping items into it, it will drop it directly without the need for a, redstone signal like a normal vanilla dropper.
Right. So in this case, there's no inventory on it, but if anything gets put into it, then it will actually function.
Yep. And for putting it in, we'll need a chest to hold all the coal. And for putting it in, we will need an item shifter because we need to pull exactly 8, nothing more, nothing less per cycle, right? So we will need a socket.
It's kind of ironic that you're saying all of this like exactly as I'm getting it ready. I'm not even
Yep.
trying to time it. It's just falling together that way.
Maybe I'm watching you and trying to, fit in with what you're doing.
Indeed.
So,
A socket, by the way, is from factorization. And
yep.
the socket is actually very simple to make. It's just 2 iron bars and an oak wood slab, or well, any kind of wooden slab. And then the item shifter, that's where we wind up with a logic matrix controller, a dropper, and a hopper. And the logic matrix controller is a logic matrix programmer, a piece of silver, and a blank logic matrix. You have one of these laying around? Seriously?
I had one of these laying around. I
Wow.
made some earlier because you can make 5 at a time. I had some laying around extra.
Okay,
So,
so we borrowed this from Wrenching because I'm not in factorization and she has. But it's a block of redstone in a crystallizer with some aqua regia, and the blank. No, wait, sorry. The block of redstone makes the blank logic matrix with some aqua regia in a crystallizer, and aqua regia is just blaze powder, sulfuric acid, and a fire charge. Sulfuric acid is coal, sulfur, and a water bottle. So that's how all that stuff was made. Thank God she made it and I didn't have to. Because yeah, like to the crystallizer takes I think 20 minutes, 20
yep,
real
good
minutes to
thing.
actually work.
Good thing I still had some of those laying around.
All
So
right,
if you want to configure the shifter, you will need to right click on it with an logic matrix programmer.
just like that.
And you have a nifty little interface.
Yep. So we're going to export from back.
That's right.
We're going to pulse some amount. The amount is
Nope, we're
current
gonna pulse exact
exact
amount.
amount. That's right. Pulse exact amount. It's currently showing as 1. We need it to be 8. And the target slot is any because it doesn't really matter. Now we need to make it so that it only does it once per pulse, no matter what. Well, actually, no,
That's
that's not necessary considering how we're building this.
this is it's already said to will do it only once per pulse.
All right, cool. So that's going to do that. So now to make this function, let me get 2 of these blocks of coal back out. We're going to go ahead and place this here and this here. And we're going to put a simple timer from Project Red. Project
Yep.
Red timers are actually not very hard to make.
It's basically redstone and
It's yeah, just
stone.
it's stone, redstone, and redstone torches. But yeah, so stone, redstone torch, and a circuit plate. Circuit plate is just cooked smooth stone. So all you gotta do is put those in the right configuration, and they will work. All right, so next we're going to. Oh wait, I didn't want that to be coal.
Make it bark or something.
Yeah, well I have the bark right here, and I just didn't use it.
Ah,
Don't worry, its bark is worse than its bite.
ha, 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 ha.
All right,
Now
so
we timed before how many coal you would how many time it would need to devour the coal. So
and we determined it was 420 seconds.
yep.
So we're going to give it an extra 10 seconds just to be on the safe side because 10 seconds is not that grand overall. So now with this setup, every 430 seconds, this will emit a redstone pulse. And the redstone pulse will pulse on the item shifter, which will then shift exactly 8 coal blocks. And those coal blocks will go into the open crate, which will then drop them directly down on top of these and start this back to its back to making stuff, back to doing things. So sweet. So now we can actually just leave this alone and let it run. We probably are going to use, I don't know, Wrenchin, do you think we'll use up all these blocks of coal to do this?
I actually don't know. I'm
Well,
not using these flowers to generate my mana, so I don't know how much coal it will take.
alright, well, we'll keep an eye on it. We shouldn't hopefully need this much. I mean, 3 stacks plus 40 blocks. We shouldn't need that much, but God only knows. So every 7 minutes, roughly, it will take to do this. Every 7 minutes, it'll drop some more blocks, and we'll see how much this takes. All right, so we're gonna pause here and wait probably several hours while we wait for this to go ahead and get these mana pools full. Because we're going to use so much of it here shortly, apparently. Wrenchin says that 3 full mana pools is a drop in the bucket compared to where we're heading. So, yeah, she's making me feel very ominous about this. So, we'll be back in just a minute, or several hours, and when these things are full. So, we'll be back. Alright, we're back. So, we've gotten these things put together. We've got them put together, filled up. We've got these things filled up now. And while we were in between sections, I just can't talk today. We made one of these. This is called the Rod of the Seas. It makes my experience bar like half blue. Is that the mana that I have available to use?
Yes.
Okay.
As you know, you should have if you have your ring on that stores mana, that will be the mana stored in your ring.
I do.
It's shown as a bar.
My band of mana's full?
Maybe your band of aura filled it.
Yeah. Wow, cool. That was quick. Alright, so anyway, basically what this is it creates water source blocks. Wrenchin, you got a block handy?
A block?
Yeah. Well, neither of the petal apothecaries need to be filled, so. Oh. You could do that too.
Dun dun dun.
So you just right click, and it's full. You can also right click in the world and create water blocks, and no, I'm not going to do that off the side of my tree. But anyway, anywhere you right click with this, it uses a little bit of your personal mana, and it creates a water source block. So that's pretty handy to have. I'm going to keep it here for now, although I can see where it would be very fun to play with at some point in the future. So now that we have these full, the next thing is to use the mana. And we're going to use the mana to do what then?
We're going to use the mana to create a portal to Alfheim. If you look inside your Lexica Botania...
I'm not familiar with that dimension. What is that?
It's the dimension of fairies. So basically the dimension you should belong to in this season.
Oh, I hate you so much.
Dehehe.
You guys are never going to let me hear the end of that, are you?
Nope.
That's what I get for letting y'all choose what my wings should look like, yes. Alright,
so if you look into Alpha-mancy.
Alpha-mancy, yes. Portal to Alfenheim.
Alfheim.
It just says the portal to Alfheim. Oh, it's a clickable thing. Knew that. All right, so let's see. Blah 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 blah. Oh wow,
Maybe.
requires some exquisite resources.
Uh-huh. The big thing being Terra Steel, as you can
Um,
probably see.
Actually, it doesn't say anything about Terra Steel on the list.
Just turn the page.
Oh, hey, look, it's green stuff.
It's green stuff.
Elven Gateway, Living Wood, and Terra Steel. Terra Steel requires you to have a mana pearl, a mana steel ingot, and a mana diamond over
Active beacon.
a beacon.
Dun dun dun.
Okay, I can
So
work
I
with this. So
cleared
we
a
gotta
bit.
go kill a wither then, I guess. We got to
Dun dun
do
dun.
She comes prepared to teach.
I come prepared.
Cool. So
yeah, I dug up a little, way up here so the beacon can be active. I hope you don't mind.
I don't. Although, oh look at that, it does go. Oh, that's cool. You cut a hole in my tree.
Yep, it needs to be active, and we want it on this particular side of the tree, so I figured
Wee splat. Okay,
I'll place
so
it here.
that works for me. All right, so Terra Steel, Mana Pearl, Mana Steel, and Mana Diamond. Let me grab some of those. Let's see. 6 Mana Pearls. I don't have any Mana Diamonds, but I'll make some. We'll go ahead and make 6 of those as well. And 6 Mana Steel. Should be easy enough to deal with. Alright, so let me drop these into some mana. Oh look, now that we updated, it shows you when you look at the pool what you actually get out of it.
Whoops, I picked one up of those. I'm sorry.
That's
I
okay.
forgot to turn off my magnet. Whoops.
For shame.
So yeah, active beacon.
Alright, cool.
And
So yeah, that's the quickest
even...
active beacon we've ever had. We
As
need
you
a
can
beacon.
see,
Blink, there it is.
as you can see, you can use all the different kinds of ingot blocks you can make from Botania as well to activate your beacon.
Which I think is really cool because it's appropriate, right? Use the mana beacon, the Botania metals to do the beacon stuff.
You could even use Terra Steel blocks if you wanted to. Because
no.
they're green and stuff.
Okay, maybe. Now that you say it like that, I might be tempted. All right, so do we right-click it on these things? No, you can't right-click it on it.
You drop it on top.
Drop it on top.
So you
okay.
probably want to make like a glass casing or something so you can actually.
Oh, it has to be on top of it.
It has to be on top.
Oh, well, that's not
very annoying, but.
All right, I can do this. This isn't that big a deal. We can just.
Yeah, I encased mine halfway with glass so it wouldn't drop out.
Click. That didn't work. Yeah, I can see where you might have.
You want me to get some glass?
Dang it! I'm about to get another open crate. Alright. There. Oh, whoa! It's glowing.
Yep. Nice particle effects with Botania all the time.
Alright, so now I right-click it with the Band of the Forest?
It will just take a bit of mana and use it and create Terra Steel.
Mana from where?
Taking from your pools.
Is it? I don't have a spreader pointed at it.
It doesn't need a spreader. It takes the mana directly from the pools. Just like any Botania flower would take it directly from the pool.
So now we just stand here and wait?
Yeah, I'm wondering why it's taking such a long time though.
Maybe because the pools are too far away?
That shouldn't make a difference. Mine at my place are about as far away as this one.
Well, it's got cool particle effects, I'll give it that.
Would you mind uncoloring one of those?
How do you uncolor without destroying the mana in it?
Oh. Speaking of which, I don't know. It may be that it... I never colored my mana pools, to be fair.
Well, this is awkward.
Well, I think it might have something to do with it. Let me get. You have one extra mana pool,
Yes, I
and
do.
I'll drop some of my mana that I have on my mana ring inside, just so I can see if that is the problem.
Okay.
Because I don't know.
All right. I can work with this.
Accepting mana from items. Yes, I hope you have your magnetal.
Yes, I don't have my Magnetom. I have the two rings of aura things and stuff. Why is yours green?
Because I upgraded it with Terrasteel.
Why can't I see how much is in there?
In what?
In the... I don't see any displays.
Any what?
It's not showing how full it is or whether it's accepting or rejecting.
Oh, strange. It's showing that for me, and it's showing that it's about halfway full.
And nothing's still happening. Is my stuff going to despawn?
After 5 minutes, yes.
Okay, well...
I don't... Did something change about that?
I was about to say, do we have a problem since we updated Botania in between sessions?
A mana pool must be present nearby, being at least half full. The infusion will create a single Terrasteel ingot, so it should be able to take from the mana pool. What?
Okay, you want to just take a break real quick while we figure this out?
Yep.
All right, we'll come back in just a minute once we figure out why this isn't working, because apparently it should be, but it's not. So be back in just a minute. All right, we're back. Don't really know what the deal was. We picked the items back up and dropped them back, and ding, there it is. So
Yep.
I guess it was some sort of syncing issue or
That's
something
what
of
I
that nature.
think. Maybe the server, the items were not on top of the beacon or something like that. That's what I think.
It could be. I was throwing them a bit strangely.
Yeah, so you're making a bunch of Terrasteel then?
Yep.
Yep. Before you make
It's
another,
not
you might
working anymore.
want to have a look at your mana pool before you make a lot more.
And I can't seem to fly right. Ah, there we go. Do what now?
Look at your mana pools before you make a bunch of those.
Why? What's up?
Just take a look.
There's a lot less mana there all of a sudden.
All of a sudden, you only have a third of the mana you had in total.
So what you're saying is this takes an ungodly large amount of mana.
It takes half a mana pool's worth of mana.
That's a significant amount.
What you should be able to make is 6 Terrasteel ingots, and that's all.
Really? 6 exact? Because I pulled out enough stuff to make 6. That's not funny. Whoa, wait a minute. That means we'll be completely out of mana if I make one more.
Yep. So you might want to reconsider if you want to make it one again.
Well, how many do we need for the portal?
Only 2.
What? I've made 5! Why didn't you tell me?
That's because you always make too much.
Yeah, but it takes forever to fill these pools.
That's why we need to assess different styles of creating mana.
No kidding, because filling those 3 pools with these endo flames took like 6 hours.
A long time.
Yeah, that's a long time. We can't wait that long every time we want to. And I want to make whoa. I want to make armor out of Terrasteel. Armor's
24 Terrasteel ingots for almost
24. That means that I have to fill the pools 12 times.
Either that, or you get more mana generation.
Well, no, I still have to fill the pools 12 times. It's just a question of whether I have to take 6 weeks to do it or.
True, but you could have more mana pools if you make more.
Well, more mana pools isn't really that big a thing. Filling the ones I have faster would seem to be the better thing. Okay, so we need to look at better ways, faster ways of generating mana. Well, I could technically make a bunch more endo flames and then just point them all at the one spreader, and that would cut down the time. Although the material cost would still be pretty high.
Yeah, reconsider how many blocks of coal you put in there, and then ask again if you want to do that.
Yeah, I no, don't think I do. Because that was a lot of blocks of coals. Okay, so generating flora, we've already done the day bloom, we've already done the endo flame. Um, there's a lot of other options. Um, let's take a minute to look through these, and we'll consider the possibilities, and we'll come back hopefully with a better idea and a better way to generate mana. Well, no, why don't we just make the portal? I mean, we don't need to worry about it right now. We can just make the portal and have it rock on.
The portal will take a specific amount of mana to keep running, so you will need an automated way of creating mana to keep it running. Otherwise, you will need a large amount of mana to open it every time you need it.
Oh. Okay, so it has a maintenance cost.
Yeah, the maintenance cost is significantly lower than the opening cost, so you really want to have an automated setup if you want to use it more often than once, which you will.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, we'll be back in a minute once we figure out some other better mana thing. Yeah. Be right back. All right, we're back. We've explored a couple of possibilities, and well, there's a lot of really fun stuff that we could do here. We're gonna try out a couple really quickly. I don't think any of them are gonna really support the portal directly. I might be able to. There's one that might be able to. We'll have to see. The Entropinium basically is you basically explode dynamite next to it, and instead of the dynamite destroying blocks, it takes that destructive force and turns it into mana. And it says here, cool guys don't look at the explosions. And that is made with the gray mana petals, mystical gray petals, red petals, mystical red petal, white petal, mystical white petal, the Rune of Fire, and the Rune of Wrath. The Rune of Fire is not too hard to make. It's just nether wart, gunpowder, nether brick, and some mana steel on the runic altar. And you get 3 of those, which is kind of cool. The other one is the Rune of Wrath. The Rune of Wrath is a little bit harder to make. It requires 2 of the mana diamonds, which is not that big a deal. The Rune of Earth, which is also not that big a deal. The Rune of Earth is just simply smooth stone, a block of coal, a mushroom, and some mana steel. The one that is really annoying is the Rune of Winter. The Rune of Winter requires 2 blocks of snow, which is not a big deal. Any kind of wool, also not a big deal. Cake, which is not really a horribly big deal, but kind of annoying with Pam's Harvest Craft installed. It changes the recipe for cake a little bit, and it makes it a bit more annoying to make.
To be fair, the problem lies that MFR changed the recipe for the milk, and we can't use the vanilla recipe for milk because the milk is not there in the recipe, so we had to use the Pam's Harvest Craft recipe.
Okay, I get. Okay, okay, so I was wrong. Anyway,
you can tell I made the cake just now.
Anyway, so then the Rune of Water, which we already made, which is just the fishing rod, sugarcane, bone meal, and the mana steel, and of course the Rune of Earth, which is like I just showed you. So that makes 1 Rune of Winter, which will then be used to make 2 Runes of Wrath, which will then be used to make the Entropinium. So we've got one of those made, and we're setting it up over there. Wrenchin's setting it up over there right now. We'll show you that here in just a second. After that, the Gormarillis, which is basically a play on gourmet, it eats food and produces mana, and the more hunger and saturation the food gives back, the more it makes. The hydrangeas. Well, it's hydrangeas. So anyway, it's these you just use. They just take water. They generate really slow. Unfortunately, it's kind of like the day blooms. They generate really slow, and they just use water instead of sunlight. So that way, it would be a consistent flow, not depending on the day-night cycle, but still very, very slow. After that is the Kekimerus. Which one is that? Oh no. Okay, yeah, the cake one. Okay, never mind. I was about to say, this is the one that eats cake specifically and makes things. The next one, the Munch Dew, this is the one that I will never have. The Munch Dew eats any nearby leaf blocks and converts those leaf blocks into mana. And since I live in a giant tree, yeah, that's not going to happen. Ever. Nightshade, as we showed you before, is the opposite to the Daybloom. It just generates mana at night versus the day. And the Rose Arcana. The Rose Arcana consumes experience from the player and turns it into mana. We're also getting this one set up to show you. And then, of course, the Thermal Lily. The Thermal Lily basically works like the Hydrangeas. Instead of using water, it uses lava, and it actually generates a considerably decent amount of mana. That is probably the easiest for continuous mana production, because you can use a combination of Blood Magic and this, or you can use the MFR. MFR can be used to generate lava in the lava generator. Thus and there's a lot of ways that you can use this, and this might be what we wind up with, but I'm going to try not to do that. But for now, let's see what we can do. Oh wait, I didn't make the TNT. I got the stuff.
You didn't make the?
I got the TNT ingredients here, I just didn't make it.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. Oh, I need to eat. Alright, so
TNT.
Dynamite. Yes, you guys are hilarious. Alright, so we've got the hydrangea, the Entropinium here. We're not making hydrangeas. We put it up on a slightly raised platform. The reason we did this is twofold. One, if I make a mistake and blow up this little corner of the tree, it won't be that much of a great loss. We don't want it to do it down there. The reasoning of this being so high, though, is because when the mana spreader spreads its mana, I'm going to have it shoot it directly back into this distributor. Okay? But it can't go through another block, so it can't go into this mana spreader. It has to go directly into the distributor. So as you can see, it passes just above the top of it into the distributor, and that should let that function. Same over here. I made this little platform here, and this spreader is shooting just in between all of that and shooting directly into the spreader as well. So hopefully this is going to work. First thing we're going to do is we're going to blow something up, because why wouldn't we? That's fun, right?
Get a button?
Lever.
Ah.
Alright, everybody stand back in case this goes horribly wrong.
Because he doesn't know how horribly wrong it can go.
Well, I'm just... Oh, wow. Entropinium. Oh, wow. It actually did 3/4 of an Entropinium storage capabilities. I have no idea how much that actually translates to, but the theory is now that these are getting fuller?
Yep.
Actually, I'm not sure that they are.
Well, it's shooting out of this mana spreader into the mana distributor, so...
Oh yeah, look at that. You actually can see it going. Cool. Now, one of the other things we're going to want to do is the mana spreaders. We're going to want to get a better mana spreader to make it function faster, but we have to get the portal going to be able to do that first. Secondary note, by the way, for those of you who might want to know, the Entropinium can only work if it's empty. Okay, if there's any mana in it whatsoever, the explosion will destroy everything, like a normal explosion. So the Entropinium has to be absolutely empty before you can explode another piece of TNT. And here in just a second, it's going to be empty, and we're going to explode another piece. Alright, it is showing nothing now, and this lever is still on, so in theory, when I place this, yes, it instantly does. Oh, thank God, I was worried for just a second there. Right as it was about to go off, I went, wait a minute, the mana spreader still has mana in it. But it's okay. Yes, so cool. So yes, that is one way we're going to be able to use to generate mana, and since we have all the TNT that we could ever need, this is not a bad way to do it. Now, I could probably actually make this function on a simple timer we can time how long it takes for the Entropinium to empty, and then have a block placer automatically place a piece of TNT here, and with the switch already on, as soon as it places, it will immediately explode and therefore continue going. The only problem I don't know what to do about is when the mana pools are full and the mana spreader is full and the Entropinium stops giving off its power, if it explodes again, then it'll destroy everything. So I'm not sure how I'm going to get around that. So that's why we made a secondary thing here. This one, Wrenchen, you want to talk about it while I set things up?
I have the Arcanas in my hand, so, well, we should probably... I just placed them anyway. There you go.
All right,
Hi.
They are the Rose Arcana. And wow, they actually already sucked my experience out.
Yep, as you can see, it's going to this mana spreader.
Oh wow, I actually was not expecting that to happen so quickly, but sure, why not? Okay,
So as you can see, they picked up all the experience from both of us and turned them into mana.
Yep.
And now they're shooting it into the mana distributor.
Okay, so the other thing I want to do is I want to set this up, but I'm not sure exactly how. We want to have that there, followed by this, and we want to turn this to output. Sweet, so now this is filling up the XP tank here, and we can put the showers on. Oh, the showers are on by default?
Yep, you need a lever to turn them off. So, I don't know, I'll place a block there. Do you have a lever on you?
Yes, I do.
Just place it, on the bottom of that block. The living wood, maybe, for example.
Okay, so that actually works for that. So I can put a second shower here. And now when I turn this on, it'll shower out of both showers. And I'm not getting any experience here. Is it showing to build? Oh, now the experience is starting to build up.
Yeah, but I think the Rosa Arcanas are full. So if you want this to be as effective as possible, you probably need more.
More
Rosa Arcanas or more mana spreaders or both.
Oh wait, can I hook more than one mana spreader to the same set of flowers?
I think you can.
Well, if that's the case, then that's definitely worth doing then.
I think it will, try to put its mana just somewhere. So I think it will try to put it in another mana spreader if the one they're targeting is full.
Fire in the hole.
Kaboom.
Nice. Okay, so these are cool manual ways of generating more mana. We're gonna look into other possible ways to make it a continuous flow that always has enough. We'll have to see how that's gonna function. But we're out of time for the episode now, so we've covered a couple more things. And next episode, we're gonna set up a continuous mana flow, and we're gonna get a portal to Alfheim opened up. Because what are you wearing?
This? Oh, that's
the wings.
Flux infused. Oh wait, the wings. That's another thing you will see when the portal opens.
Ah, those are cool looking wings. They look like skeletal dragon wing things. Oh, well, anyway, we're out of time. We're out of time. We'll have to hear about it next time. We'll hear about it next time. Wrenchen's, in case anybody hasn't noticed, every time we've started an episode, Wrenchen has been wearing something different from Botania. Different armor, different wings, different everything. So next time we'll see her wearing something else inevitably. But until then, like me if you like me, subscribe if you want to see what I get into next, and as always, help spread the gaming.